I was of the philosophy of asking girls on dates on campus all the time. So my friends and I would schedule a date, and then we'd have to find a girl. And then coronavirus happened.
Ben and I, we met on a dating app, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I'm really grateful for the dating app.
So I downloaded Mutual.
And Ben was the very first match that I had.
And so we set up a date to go slacklining. And then this kid came up. He was a little bit awkward. He was sitting there playing his guitar, like no shoes, just chilling with his bike. And then he came over and asked, "Hey, that's pretty cool. Can I try the slackline? Like, I've never tried this before."
He taught him how to slackline. I thought that was just so cool that this random stranger, while he's on a date, he took the time to like care about this guy. And that was probably one of the first thing that really stuck out to me is that he took the time to notice those that were around him.
Most people would be a little bit uncomfortable, but she was just happy to have him join us, so she helped him along the slackline, and I thought that was pretty impressive. It showed that she's very just genuine and she's caring about everybody. I love how genuine she is, and I've seen that with her family and her friends ever since we started dating. And she's extremely thoughtful and good at communicating her appreciation.
He works really hard. He's a very like diligent worker. I just remember all the time he's like, "Hey, 2-minute break, and now let's go back to work." He's very good at keeping focused.
And she's fun. She always is just excited and happy and down to do adventurous things. She loves to run and go hiking. She's crazy. She always makes me feel like I'm super out of shape.
He loves to laugh. I think I've never laughed as hard as I have with Ben over these last few months. He has a good time with his family. His family is very much at the top of his life. And I think the next thing, and the most important thing that I've noticed in him is his light. He seeks after light. So he puts God first in his life, but he helps others find light, and he is a light to so many people in their lives.
One question that I ask on basically every first date is, if you had 24 hours to do whatever you wanted without money wasn't a concern, what would you do? And when I asked her that, before I told her any of my interests, she went through her day, and everything she said, I was just thinking, wow, that's exactly what I would want to do. And she ended with being serenaded at a campfire with the guitar, so I was like, I could check that off.
The time that I really knew that I wanted to marry Ben was one time he was helping me with a paper that I was writing about my future family for a religion class that I was in. And I remember just as I was writing it, he was just everything that I talked about in the paper, of like what I was looking for and what I was wanting to have to lead my family and to be my partner throughout like the rest of eternity. And I just remember over and over again, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is Ben. And it just didn't feel real. But it all came as I was writing that paper, as I came to this realization that I want to marry Ben.
We had a family trip to Idaho, and she just was part of the family. She felt super comfortable, and at the end of the trip, we were just talking before I dropped her off, and we were hugging, and she like pulled away and she said, "Ben, are you ready for the next step?" And I was like, that's pretty forward, and I didn't know how to respond, but I thought about it a little bit and just said yes, a little bit, maybe a little more confidently than I should have. But driving home that night, I thought to myself, am I ready? And then I thought about everything that I want in a wife and everything that I want in a mother, and she checked off all of the things that I want emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally. She's everything that I want.